What's up, everybody? It's Matt from 9 Day Performance. I'm here with a 2019 Camaro SS, and today's video we're going to be showing you how to take the bumper off of the Camaro SS. So right here, like I said, first thing you're wanting to do is go inside your door, and we'll go in here and I'll show you. Open your door, and down here there's going to be a lever right there. You pull that. That's how you pop your hood. And once we get in here, we're gonna just take these right here. These are 10mm bolts. We're gonna disconnect all these bolts that are down here that are holding on to this front bumper. There's some rivets that are held on as well. You can leave the rivets as long as they're with the same piece. So once we get all of these 10s out, we're gonna go ahead and get the wheels taken off. Both sides, it's easier to take them off. The wheel liners that are inside, you can pull them back or remove them. We're doing underglow, so I'm removing these front two. And then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go right down here in the fender, and there's going to be some screws. There's going to be 3 screws down there that you're going to have to remove inside this tight little space. So I'll shine some light here so that hopefully you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and get the vehicle up a little higher in the air, get the wheels taken off so we can go ahead and start getting this vehicle torn apart. Alright, now that the tires are off, we're going to go ahead and start taking this loose here. We're going to take out these 10mm bolts that are right here, and then there's one right here. Looks to be a T20, no, probably a T30. It's either a T30 or T40. I'll let you know here in the link on the video. We're going to take those out, and then we're going to take the wheel liners out and get ready to take the front bumper off. And there's some portions underneath we're going to have to get to as well. I'll take you guys along for the ride. Stay tuned. Alright, so the next part is entirely up to you if you want to take the entire thing off or if you just want to take part of it off. Here we're in the wheel liner on the passenger side. You're going to need a T15 and you're going to need a push pin puller to remove the push pins that are throughout. Where there's not push pins, there is a T15. So what we're going to do for this sake of this one right now is do the easier way. We're going to remove basically half of the wheel liner. We're going to fold it back, and then we're going to be able to get to the other screws that are under here. So to do that, everything from this point forward, we're going to take loose, including these T15s in the back that are on the front portion. And we're going to take all this loose to where we can pull it back, as well as anything underneath that would be holding it. Now, as you may have seen, I was fighting with the fender liner trying to get to some screws, and that's because this customer's vehicle has an aftermarket front lip on it. And when they put that front lip on, they covered up some of the bolts that secure it, which are right here. They're little 7mm bolts right here. So those 3 right there are holding this side of the fender liner, but he had probably 20 different self-tapping screws that were right here on this bottom portion. So they were making sure that no matter what, that front lip was not coming off. So I got that taken down. Now we're going to get these 3 out, and then the fender liner will actually bend back. All right, so we got those 3 bolts off, and now we have had the fender liner pulled back, and as you can see, the easiest thing to do is just tuck it back here. Watch to make sure you're not hitting the car at all. Don't want to scratch anything, but this is very bendable and it doesn't really damage it to just fold it like that behind the spindle itself. And then in here is where we're going to get to work now. So as you can see here, there are 1 up there, 2, 3 screws, and those appear to be 7mm. And then we have 1 here and 1 here in the back that are also 7mm, and then this whole front bumper should pop off from this portion. We're also going to have to go underneath the vehicle around the front And under here, anything that's connected to the front bumper, you're gonna have to either pull it back or get it to where it's supposed to be. So on this one here, if you look, we have this skid plate right here that's connected. So because I have this aftermarket front splitter, I can take the front splitter off, which is probably what I'll do, and then you can actually just take the other 7mm bolts that are going to be all underneath here loose. And as you can see here, that's what took so long. There's so many screws right there holding this front lip on. So what we're gonna do, we're probably gonna go ahead and just take this front lip off, take the 7s off that are across the front bumper so that that splash shield can stay where it's at. The less you have to take off, the better, because the less you take off, the less you have to put back. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that taken off now. All right, so we have all of the front lip removed. We have all of the 7mm bolts removed from the front of the bumper. Now we're gonna go over to the driver's side and we're gonna go ahead and take that fender liner off just like we did on the passenger side, move it back, remove the 7mm bolts. There's 5 of them total. And then we're gonna work on getting this whole front bumper taken off. We're gonna have to unplug some things, and I'll stop and pause and show you guys what we're gonna unplug and remove, and we'll go ahead and get this bumper taken off. Alright, so now we're at the point where everything for the most part as far as bolts wise is disconnected and we're ready to start pulling the face off. I recommend if you do not have one, you get something or somebody to help you. Down here below you'll see I have a bumper stand. That way if anything happens and this does happen to fall down, I have something that can catch it. So now what you're going to do is you're going to work your way around the bumper, start pulling, make sure it's moving freely. As you see here, everything's moving pretty freely. The only thing that's going to be loose or holding it is the very top up here. So you're going to have to lift up on the top and it will start sliding forward. As it does that, do not pull, because when you pull too hard, you'll rip something. Once you get it about like that, you're going to want to go behind the bumper and start looking to see if there's anything still catching. So back here, we're going to start looking in between and we're going to see if there's any wiring or anything back here that needs to be unplugged. Because this guy has aftermarket lights already, we do need to unplug them. So that's getting unplugged. Now we're going to trace the fog lights. Look, and you want to find where your fog lights are getting their power from. And on this vehicle, it's going to be on the driver's side. So we're going to come back around to the driver's side. And we're going to start looking down here for what we consider a main harness, which as you can see, it's right there. This is the harness that connects to the fog lights and everything else and keeps it from coming off. So disconnect this plug right here, and to do that there's a red tab. You'll slide back, you'll push down, you'll disconnect, and then you're going to slide the front bumper off. Like I said earlier, this guy has aftermarket lights, so I do have to be cautious of those, but this one's not even plugged in. So now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the bumper taken off. I'm going to sit down on the bumper stand and everything is off. We're going to go ahead and hold this, move our bumper stand out of the way. And just like that, that's how you remove the front bumper on a 2019 and up Camaro. This will work on the 19 Super 23s, Z01s, and some of them have different shapes, styles, but for the most part, that is the process of how to do them. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.